Let's rise in body and our spirit for our gathering hymn, Rivers of Babylon.
That's a new one on me. Good morning. My name is Bill Payton, and I serve on the board of directors and a couple or two or three other committees as well. I want to thank all of the many volunteers here at UUCS who make this place go. And I have an appointment this week with a speech therapist who's going to help me learn to say the word no. I welcome all of you into this sanctuary. This is a sanctuary that always makes me feel more reverent, more benevolent, and more at peace. And I especially want to welcome all of our visitors, both on campus or on live stream. We welcome you to find out more about us and more about Unitarian Universalism, and you are welcome to participate in any of our events. And you can do both by checking out our website, uucssarasota.com, by clicking on a link on our homepage and registering in our virtual guest book. Of course, you can also sign the guest book at the welcome table right outside the sanctuary. And once you sign the guest book, we will send you our weekly newsletter and Zoom links to our virtual events. As always, we invite you to join us for coffee and conversation after the service. And today there is a potluck, am I right? And so please feel free to join the potluck. There's usually enough food even if you forgot to bring something. Look forward to it. As usual, there's a lot going on around UUCS, and I have an announcement today. Maybe you saw the paper this morning, but the headline is Petitions in Peril. And of course, one of those petitions has to do with marijuana, and the other petition has to do with the reproductive justice project that we have here at church about women's health rights. So our petition for a ballot initiative supporting reproductive justice continues, but it's slowed down quite a bit. We are asking everyone to sign the petition if you haven't already done so. We would also like for you to take petitions with you and ask friends or neighbors to sign the petition, and those petitions can be returned back here to the library on Thursdays from noon until 2, and then Sundays from noon until 2. And hopefully by now, you know that next Sunday we have a congregational meeting to vote on 2 issues. The first one of those is the potential name change, and the second one of those is for the adoption of the eighth principle. And you've probably heard me say before, or saw that I have written in the newsletter, that the Board of Trustees unanimously adopted the eighth principle, and we are hoping that you will vote for approval of that eighth principle. If you still have questions about any of these issues, please join us today for our regular monthly conversations. But today's going to be a little bit different. If you want to discuss the eighth principle, you shall go to the Lexile room, gather your food and your plate and move into the Lexile room, and there will be a conversation there about the eighth principle. They can answer any of your questions, hopefully. If you want to talk about the name change, we will meet in the Reeb room. If you really want to talk about both of them, good luck. So now I would like to invite Scott Rubin up to give an announcement about BidFest.
Good morning. I'm Scott Rubin. I'm excited to be a member of the BidFest team, but they did not tell me I'd have to follow Bill. So here we go. In case you haven't been paying close attention, BidFest is the new name of our annual auction, and it's coming in just 4 weeks, Saturday, November 4th. Let me repeat. BidFest is happening on Saturday, November 4th, and it's going to be fun for everyone. You'll notice that BidFest is spelled with an exclamation point at the end. We learned from the best brands that an exclamation point generates excitement. Yahoo, and Big Lots, and Chips Ahoy, and yeah, so we are very excited about BidFest. We'll have a lunch served family style, no buffet lines, no waiting. If you have special dietary needs, vegan or gluten-free, we'll have a special lunch prepared just for you. Be sure to make your food selection when you buy your ticket so we have enough food for everyone. There will be a silent auction before lunch and a live auction during dessert. You don't want to miss it. But we can't have all this fun and excitement without you. We need you to donate fun and interesting classes, great events like a lunch or dinner or game night, tickets to events in town, or gift cards to your favorite restaurants. The deadline to donate is in 2 weeks, October 22nd, so don't delay. We also need you to buy tickets for just $10 at bidfest.org. We need you to volunteer for setup, cleanup, and other important tasks to make the day special. And we need you to come to BidFest on Saturday, November 4th, to bid, eat, laugh, have a great time, and help raise lots of money to support our programs throughout the year. If you have any questions, would like to donate or volunteer, or need more information, please see us at the BidFest table after the service, or visit bidfest.org. Thank you.
Wade in the water, God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Jordan's river, chilling cold, God's gonna. Well, it chews the body, but not the soul. Whoa, wade in the water, wade in the water, children, now wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Jordan River is deep and wide. Where there's milk and honey on the other side. God's gonna trouble the water. Come on, wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, now wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Now if you get there before I do, God's gonna trouble the water. Won't you tell my family that I'm a-coming too? God's gonna trouble the water. Come on, wade in the water. You got to wade. Whoa, yeah, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. One more time. Wade in the water. You got to wade. Oh, yeah, yeah. In the water. God's gonna trouble the water. God's gonna trouble. Oh, yes, He will. God's gonna trouble the water.
Thank you, Sanaya. Our opening reading is by India McKnight from the UUA Multicultural Welcome, a resource for greeters, and we're all greeters. She writes, "We are constantly evolving. We define who we are. We are always redefining who we are. In welcoming newcomers to our congregations, let us move beyond inclusion. Whenever someone new walks through our doors, we are presented with a unique opportunity to redefine who we are. Being in relationship allows us to enter into the lives of one another, to listen, and to be transformed by stories, experiences, tears, and prayer. In community, we all share the amazing responsibility to create space that is a haven in which the marginalized and forgotten can be seen, heard, and affirmed. Moreover, the space acts as hands on a potter's wheel, thoughtful, healing, and taking shape to fulfill our purpose. As we welcome others into our spiritual home, consider that they all have gifts to share, gifts that might lead our communities through radical transformation. Let us engage in these transformation in this transformation with an open, curious spirit. As we now light the chalice, please join me in sharing the proposed 8th principle that we will be voting on next week. As we light this chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism, we affirm and promote journeying towards spiritual wholeness by working to build a diverse, multicultural, beloved community by our actions that accountably dismantle racism and other perceptions in ourselves and our institutions.
Good morning, everyone. Today's story is Something Good, words by Marcy Campbell and pictures by Corinna Loiken. The day the custodian found the bad something on the bathroom wall, all the girls from Mr. Gilbert's class were called into the principal's office. The principal asked if we had any information. Some girls said, "No, Mrs. Martinez." Some girls stared at the carpet. Mrs. Martinez took her time looking at each of us. She seemed very serious and very sad. She said quietly but firmly, "This kind of thing won't be tolerated at our school." We all started fidgeting. We wanted to know, what was the bad something? Who did it? And what will happen next? The principal said no one was allowed to use the bathroom, but after lunch, Kyoko made a run for it, and me and Tanisha and Emmy were right behind her. We giggled our way in and shut the door and shh each other as we looked around and over and on and under until we saw it, the bad something. My mouth popped open. Tanisha turned around and ran out. Kyoko kicked a stall really hard, and the sound made us cover our ears, and Emmy started to cry. The next day, that bathroom door was locked, and the girls had to go all the way up to the second floor. Why do the boys have it so easy, us girls thought? How does the principal even know it was a girl who did it? A boy could have snuck in. Well, we watched all our classmates. We studied their faces to see if anyone looked guilty. We tried to remember who had gone to the bathroom and when, but most of all, we wanted to know who had done it and why. The bad something made all of us feel horrible, all of us, because by then, each of us had told someone what it was until everyone knew. Even our parents knew because the principal had called each house, and our parents whispered while they drank their coffee, but when we came into the room, they went quiet. Some of them hugged us at morning drop-off far way too long. We missed the days before the bad something appeared because everything is different now. Some of us felt worried or confused or sad or angry. No one felt nothing. We were meaner than we used to be. Like when Devin went to sharpen his pencil and tripped, we laughed. Mrs. Martinez called the whole school to the gym to talk about something important. Her voice crackled into the microphone as she told us that we were all special, that our school was special, and that she knew more than anything else in the world that we were kind, even if we forgot sometimes. And she told us the bad something had no place here. Then our teachers gave us all pins made from ribbons and our school colors. It's to remember who we are, the principal said. We held our heads a little bit higher when we walked back to our classrooms. So Mr. Gilbert sat us in a circle with him. His eyes were shiny when he said he had a big project, an art project, and we could all participate. When the boys came into the girls' bathroom, we snickered, but Mr. Gilbert said it was okay because we were all in this together. So we painted and painted straight through recess, all over the bathroom wall. Each of us had something to add, Mateo drew flowers, and Rosa drew dragons, and Kai drew both rainbows and dragons and flowers and dogs and lots of smiling people. We drew our whole class time, and then we kept going. We drew the whole school day, and the principal liked it so much that she let us keep working on it a little bit each day until practically the whole wall was covered. We couldn't believe what we had made. But then we remembered, and we asked Mr. Gilbert if the bad something was still there. And he said yes, that is somewhere deep underneath, it was still there. But we had changed it. We had changed it when we covered the wall with our good somethings. So we studied our work and we wrote poems about what we saw there. We wrote about how our painting had more green than gray, more sun than clouds. Then we wrote about the world outside the painting. We wrote about how there was more good than bad and more love than hate. We are nicer than we used to be. Devin reads his poem now, the very first time he's ever read aloud in class. And some kids smile and nod, and some kids lean way forward in so they won't miss a thing, and some kids close their eyes and let his words wash over them. We take our time to look at one another, and we all see something good. So let us all remember that we're not perfect, and we may do or say something bad that we learned from others that we had looked up to. But each of us has the capacity to change our world, erasing the bad somethings with good, because our world is more good than bad, more love than hate. And if we take the time to truly look at each other, we will see something good. So I invite our younger UUs to join their teachers and their advisors in their classrooms as we explore stories of Indigenous heritage. Thank you.
Love is but the song we sing, and fear's the way we die. You can make a mountain ring, or make the angels cry. Know the dove is on the wing, and you need not know why. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Some will come and some will go. We will surely pass. When the one who left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's light, fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together. Try and love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you must understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both, and it's all in your command. Oh, oh, come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try and love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try and love one another right now. Right now, right now.
Thank you, Sanaya. Oh, always, always beautiful. And those are, by the way, I'm Reverend Jay Wolin. It's very nice to be with all of you today. And those are words I think we need now more than ever in the world. It was and still is a heavy heart, and I opened up my Twitter account. Well, that's always gives me a heavy heart, but also various newspapers yesterday to read and watch videos, first of Hamas attacking and killing innocent Israeli civilians, and then in retaliation, Israel bombing Palestinian buildings. And then reading American politicians trying to use all of this violence to make political points. I'm not here, this is for centering words, I'm not here to go into the whole complex history of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. I am here to ask you to pray for peace. I ask you to work for peace, and remind you that how this intentional political divisiveness is what led Israel to be unprepared for this attack. Let that be a lesson to us as Americans as well. And so I invite you to take a moment now and contemplate and remember all of those who were harmed just yesterday and died and are suffering, countless suffering in the Middle East in ways that we can't even imagine here in America.